Hello, all. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, just give me 1 second. We will start. Just a minute. Let me open our account. Okay, guys. Yeah. So in the last session, what we have done, so we discussed about how to work with a snow pipe implementation, right? So here, so what we have done, so the same process which we have implemented for the other file formats when we are loading, the extra thing is we are going to create a pipe for a bucket level, and then so we will like implement the copy command within the bucket for the bucket level, whatever the notification we are going to get it, the SQS channel notification, this we will give it to AWS team to create a notification services, right? So these are the things what we need to take care. Now today's session what we will do is we will see so how to work with Azure implementation. So how to work with GCP implementation, we will see. So here, so same process. So but the almost it is similar. Only the thing will be when it is coming to like our Azure and then GCP. So what will happen is only in integration object when we are giving the account details, right? When you are creating integration object, that is a different. Remaining everything will be the same process. So if you want to create the Azure account, what we need to do is, so just you can follow this particular account steps. The same way how we created AWS account, right? The same, these are the Azure steps what we need to involve. So we're creating the integration object, and then as we updated like the policy details, the same way we are going to give these steps once we created integration object. So we are going to get these particular details like the Snowflake, the Azure tenant name, and then consent URL. So then we are creating a file format, the stage, loading the data to, so from Azure to this one. Before that, we should have account in Azure, right? If you wanted to create a account, you can follow this document. You can create it, but when it is coming to AWS, right? AWS, you will get 1 year's free trial account for some of the services. But here in Azure, it's not like that. Here, what you need to do is you will get only around $200 the credit limit. After utilizing of the $200 credit limit, what will happen is you are unable to utilize your free services. You need to go pay on pay for use basis. So you can create same way you can give the details, credit card details and debit card details. So see this one. So only the balance you are going to get $200 only. So when it is coming to the Azure portal, so once you created, if you have Outlook account, Microsoft account, you can able to create with that account, or you can create with the new account also. When you are going for that, always go for a Azure free trial subscription. Azure free trial subscription. Once this is completed, it will show us you need to go for pay per use basis. Okay, this is just so how we will go into create a Azure account, the details. When it is coming to, let me like open my Azure account details and then let me show you how it looks like. So here when it is coming to that portal.azure.com, let me open portal.azure.com, and it will ask me to click account which I have created. Now this is the console. So like AWS console, so this is the console for our Azure. If you observe here, see this, all the services, whatever the services it is available here, it is showing all the Azure services which it is available here. All these are the different services which you can able to use it. Here you like in AWS ARN details we have, right? That's a unique details. The same way here also you will have the account details. When I click on Active Directory, you can able to see nothing, one thing, that is tenant ID. This is tenant ID. This what we required when we are when you are working with like AWS. We required Azure location, and then we required ARN details, role details. The same way here, this is the tenant ID details. So with which permissions we are going to log into, that is nothing but so the unique details for the particular user. So, okay. And another thing is, if you go with the storage location, you can able to see, come back, observe this one, we can able to see storage account details. This is the storage account details. When I click on this, okay, it's seems the storage free account trial is ended. And if I click on this also, let's see, again it is asking free trial account, it won't allow. It will go for pay per use basis, I think. Okay, fine. So not to worry. So now, so let's come to this. Okay, it is not allowing. Okay, fine. So if you observe here, okay, this is the services, but let's see so how it is going to react. So this is one thing what we received, and then if you like have the free subscription, what you can able to see is in the storage, you can able to see same way our folder will be there, and within the bucket, the folder, within the like folder, you can able to see the files. Now like previously when we created, for example, let me show you, this is the details, this is our details. What is the first step we need to do? We need to create Azure integration object. This is the location where our file is available. This is our
Dinesh, sorry
location.
to interrupt. Here in the background, some whistle is coming. Sound of a whistle is coming. I don't know whether it is for me or for all.
Is it for everyone? Hello.
Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah.
No, not for me.
Just a minute. Connected with headset only. It's a noise cancellation. The phones which I am using, it should not be. Let's see if it
Yeah,
is
it's not
repeating.
coming
Let me
now.
know.
You can continue.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay. So if you observe, so this one, so here we don't have access. Let's observe here. So so this is a path where our the file is available. This is the Azure, and then this is our nothing but the bucket where your the file folder will be available, and then CSV is the folder. Within this folder, you will have this particular CSV file, and this is the location. And coming to This is the tenant ID, the same tenant ID here we have. And then when we are creating integration object, see this, all the steps are same. Only integration name we are going to change according to our AWS or Azure or GCP. And then we are going to change here. See this one, AWS ARN details previously we have given. And then AWS storage allowed location we have given AWS path. Here instead of AWS path, here we have given Azure location. And here tenant ID we have given, right? Tenant ID is nothing but unique ID role. Now let's create a storage integration object. Now we created already exist. I can use create or replace. Then what will happen? It is going to be recreated. Now integration is created, right? So once the integration is created, so what we are going to get it from the integration object, when you describe, sorry, describe integration and integration name. So this one, same process. When you describe integration and integration name, you will get the URL, consent URL. This is the additional thing. So related to permissions. And then this is allowed location. Allowed location, you can able to see. So which location the integration object has accepted. And multi-tenant app name. So this is nothing but your external ID. In AWS, we have external ID, right? The same way. So it is generated multi-tenant, this one app name. These are the things what we need to give it to Azure team. So this is multi-tenant app name. This one multi-tenant app name. And then when it is coming to this one allowed location, this is fine. And then this is a consent URL. When it is coming to this consent URL, right? So we need to give the permissions. So based on the organization specific, for example, so let me copy this consent URL, copied. When you create an integration object, we have to go to this new tab and then just give this URL which it has given by storage integration, and then it will ask you the permissions. If it is first time, then it will ask you the permissions. Once the permissions is not available, then so it will ask you to accept your like admin privileges, like nothing but, so within this system, so you are giving within this network, whatever the system you are using, so you are allowed to access the Azure details. That is the intention of the consent URL here. Just you need to click on the link, and once you click on the link, so you have to, so just give the accept and then just click on OK. Here already I have done in my system, that's why it is not showing that particular implementation. Okay, so this is fine. Now another step, what is the next step we need to follow? Remaining everything will be the same, right? So when you like creating a pipe or creating a file format and then creating a stage, after that you are going to like create copy command. Now let's observe this. Here one step what we have missed is, see this one we got these details, but so we don't have access to this because the trial account is ended, we don't have access to this. Once we get these details, right, the Azure tenant, this particular app details, once you received it from integration object, what you need to do is you have to follow these steps. This will be taken care by your admin team, your Azure team. You have to go to IAM, and then they will create a role assignment for the whatever the like the role, the storage blob data contributor, they will accept, they will click, and then they will assign access to the user group principals. That is nothing but your Azure tenant app name which we have received. This particular they will select here in the IAM access, identity and access management. Once it is done, so then you can create a file format, staging, and then loading the data from the so stage to the table. So now here, let's create a file format here. We are going to create file format or the file which we kept it here, that is a pipe delimited file in that particular the folder in the Azure folder. Now created a file format. Next, what we need to do, we need to create a stage, right? We have to create stage. When you are creating stage, create stage name. This is a stage area and storage integration. So the integration object which you have created, and then Azure location URL, the path, right? From where we have to pull the file and then where we have to load that. So here, right? And then what is the file format? This is a file format which we have created. Now let's create a stage here. And once we created a stage, if everything goes, if everything like fine, then you will have access to this particular stage area. Now the stage is created. Stage is created. Now once the stage is created, you can generally what we will do, you can able to access that particular stage, and then you can able to see what is the file it is available there, right? If you observe list at the rate stage name, see this one, whether you are going to get the permissions to see the file or not. Let's observe. Because of permission issue, what will happen is it will keep on like running. After that it will stop. So you will not get access to this particular the stage. You will not get access because of this step we have missed, this particular step. So this particular thing, so we did, so we have given authorized Azure consent URL done, but in IAM we didn't given this the permission. So that is the issue. And if you have that permission, then you can able to copy the data into table from into table from the stage. But so when you coming to the table structure, we didn't create it, right? So let's create a table structure here. Come to this. This is the table structure to create. Create a table structure. About the current statement. Here. Run. Now the table is created. So what you will do once the table is created, table structure is available. For example, instead of confusion, I will give Azure. Now this is the table. Copy into table from what is the stage area. This is the stage area. Now when you try to access the stage, we cannot able to see the file because we don't have permission. Now when you try to load the data also from this particular stage to this particular table, if all the permissions we have given, then we can able to access the data from that particular stage, and then it can able to load the data to this particular table. But because of the permission issue here, it is not allowing. The process is same, only the thing is where it is changing. In an integration object, instead of AWS, we are going to give the AWS ARN, the tenant ID. And then instead of AWS location, we are giving Azure location. And then once it is done, so we need to like updating policies like that. Here we have a consent URL, and then we need to so do the updation in the IAM details the related to Azure tenant app name. So that is the thing. Okay. So here, so because of this, so we cannot able to see that. So let's see. So the same implementation. So how we can able to do it in a GCP also. GCP also the same approach will be the same. But when it is coming to GCP, here no need to give this particular like Azure tenant ID or externally, no need to give that. We can able to give just a location, and then we can give all the permissions the directly itself. See this, it will keep on run, it will unnecessary, it will kill our virtual warehouse. Just have about that. It is not because of the permission issue, it will not allow you to access this particular stage, and then it will not allow you to load the data to this table. That is the thing. Now let's come to, okay, so now let me open GCP console. When it is coming to GCP, if you have your Gmail ID, right, directly you can able to create your GCP console account. It's very simple. If you have already Gmail ID, with the existing Gmail ID, you can able to create a console. But here also it will be like, so it is not a free account for the year. It is only, there will be a credit limit. If you observe here, $300 credit limit. So once the credit limit is completed, here the thing is still you can able to access, but so any external like a permissions, it will not allow you to work on it. It means, let me show you how it works. This is the steps how we can able to create a GCP console. Now coming to, if you log in to the GCP console, let me show you GCP. Console login, console.cloud.google.com. But this is not with this email ID. Let me switch email ID. Okay, this is the console. If you observe the same here, it is showing. Okay, this is fine, but still we can able to see the things. Okay, but only the thing is it will not allow you to access, but you can able to do the implementation. Here this is IAM, identity and access management. And so coming to this one, if you observe cloud storage, here this is a cloud storage where we can able to see the files, nothing but your bucket. So if you click on cloud, this is a bucket level. Close this, go to the bucket. If you go to the bucket, you can able to see this one. So one is CSV file, the folder which it is available within the bucket. If you observe the folder, so we have a file. This is a simple file which it is available, so which I kept sorry, EMP file. So this is a employee file which it is available here. So this particular file, from this particular GCP location, we wanted to load it into our the Snowflake environment. So this is our file. The here, when you wanted to access this is the path where our file is available. So my bucket, so 290 CSV. This is the path where our file is available. If you wanted to get exact path, so click on this and then copy the path to clipboard. This is the path which it is available here, where our file is available, my bucket. So 290 CSV, this is the path. Now here also, what is the so steps we need to follow is, first we need to create So integration object, right? After that, so creating a integration object. After that, you have to follow these steps. This is related to the permission issue, permission things. We need to do the setup. After that, creating a file format, creating a stage, copy the command. The same process. Now let's observe how to load that. If you come here, first let's create integration object, storage integration object. You can able to see this is a create or replace storage integration name. Here in so GCS, so int we have given our own name, and then type external storage provider GCS enable true, all are common, and then storage allowed location. We don't require to give any specific ID here. So storage allowed location, what is the location here? GCS, and then this is my bucket, and then CSV. So this is the path where our file is available, where our file is available. So let's give the path. This is the path. Now let's create a storage integration object. We created storage integration object. Once the storage integration object is created, what we are going to do? Describe integration integration name. Observe given. And when you see this, here you will able to see service account details like external ID. This is the service account details. This we required. This we required. This is the service account details. And allowed location you can able to see the which location the so storage allowed location is available, right? And then provider say GCS. Okay, this service account details once you received, what we need to do is we have to like the policies like policies updation, right? The same way what you need to do is close this, copy service account. So this we have copied from the integration object. You will go to the bucket, and then you will click on the permission, and then you are going to add members. So you will go to the bucket, and then you will go, this is a bucket where we are in bucket, and then we will click on permissions, and then add members, grant access, see this one, add the here. This is a what we have received, the service account details. We have to give it here. The service account details what we have received is this is the service account details. Let's copy this service account details. See this one, add, and so assign that to new member service account role cloud storage admin, cloud storage admin. We need to select this and then save. It is done. Principles already exist in the policy. So this one already it is available. So no need to create it. This is the process. Once it is created, so let's observe whether you can able to see the particular stage or not. We can able to create it or not. We can able to get the access to this particular stage or not after creation of the stage environment. So we need to create the file format. Let's create a file format here. CSV format. Let's create a file format. File format is created. Next, we are going to create a stage. When you are creating a stage, create stage name, create stage name, and then GCSINT. Integration name is GCSINT, and then this is the URL. So what is the URL where that particular file is available? The URL is employee1.csv file. Same file, right? If you come to this particular bucket, objects, employee1.csv. This is my bucket 290. Let's change this. come to this one. This is the folder. Okay, this is the URL where our file is available, and then file format. Now what it has to do, it will create a stage. So with this particular details, and stage is created. Now if you observe, list at the rate stage name, this is the stage where our file is available in the GCS. Now observe this, you can able to see whether the file is available or not here. But when you're trying to load, it will not allow you. So because of this, the account, the expiration. So because, so it is asking free trial account is completed. We cannot able to so use this. So if you observe any like a bucket, you can able to see this one, cloud storage provider. So this add additional storage, you must enable billing. So you can able to see the things, but you cannot able to process it. So if you observe here, you can able to see the file name, right? What is the file? It is available. If you try to like the access the file, if you try to access the file, copy into, okay, before that, let me create the table structure, which we have kept the file. This is the simple file, which I kept it in the GCS. This, the simple details, and let's create a table with these details. And if you wanted to load the data, copy into, what we will do, copy into table. What is the table? This is the table. Copy into table. From, what is the stage? This is the stage. This is the stage area. Observe this. Now if I try to access this, what will happen? Just observe. See this one, access denied, right? So please check your credentials, because so this one related to this particular implementation. So because of this, it is not allowing. So even though if you created the permissions, and so even though it is not allowing you to access this. So but here if you check the file, you have a access, you can able to see the file. But if you try to pick the data from that, for example, without loading also, you can able to pick the data by using select $1 from stage, right? $1 from stage directly. If you observe this, see this one, from stage, this is the process. Now when you try to do this, see this, if you have access to this particular stage, then we can able to get it directly. Now let's observe this. See this one, it is also telling same thing, access is denied. So please check your credential, because this is related to the access the permission details. So remaining everything will be the same. So if you have this like a billing enabled, if it is a new free trial account, if it is available, or if it is like a billing still, if it is active, and then if you are a pay per use basis, then you can able to implement it. So what is the change here in GCP? So like AWS and then uh, Azure, no need to give a specific ID here. No need to give a specific ID. We can give only storage allowed location. That is the only one change. And then this we will call it as a service account. This has to be enabled for a bucket level. Bucket level, what you are doing, we are giving the service account permission. So once you have given the service account permission, then you can able to access the files in that particular stage once you created a stage. So once you have, you can able to see the stage area, but if you try to access that particular file, it will not allow you to like pull the files. So from that particular stage, if you have the permission, then we can able to do that. So but this is the process how we can able to do that. So if you try to like implement this, you can create a free trial account for the GCP and then Azure, the locations, and then you can able to process the thing. But most of the times, any like a one, like if it is like any one platform only we will use in any organizations. It will not be like a multiple the cloud platforms, right? So be perfect in anyone. If you are practicing also, try to create. If you are decided to go with the GCP implementation, try to implement the GCP steps. Then we will be familiar with that, right? That is a step. So when any in interviews also, when you are explaining, so you need to explain the details, the step-by-step procedure, what you have to do. So it's common for everything, but you need to use these terminologies. So here in a GCP means it's a